Hi, Busker909 here. That was my short for Ace of Spades by Motorhead. A viewer request. Actually, it's a real fun tune. I decided to play it in the same key as the video, so I tuned down to E flat, E flat, B flat, and I made this a D, which I'll explain later. Altogether, it doesn't sound too good. And that's not the sound I'm going for, but it's actually kind of essential to play one of the main riffs, because I noticed a few other fellows that tried it and they don't, none of them played the main riff, which I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, in order to make it all work, I had to find something to kind of practice with, so I took my Boss DR3 drum machine and I set it on hard rock and I turned it up as far as it would go. It sounds like this. Kind of close. Yeah, and I had my amp turned up a lot more than that, but I don't want to blast through my little speaker here. So, it's pedals on the low E string. The bass that starts it has a particular rhythm, but I'm not going to do that because that's not really the guitar part. The guitar part is you hit it once, and then go up to the middle string, and you go 12, 11, 10. Now I'm going to play them sort of separate, but you play them together. So you're actually doubling two of these on each one of those. I'll start separate. See how it sort of fits together? And this is where you can kind of catch that string and it sort of works. Doesn't do that on the record, but I thought if you're playing by yourself and you're playing cigar box guitar, it sounds kind of cool. If you're playing with somebody else with this tuning, you can go down here and get that sort of major third sound. Once again, they aren't really doing it, it's just something that works on the cigar box guitar. But anyway, it goes, when the singing starts, it goes to the 3rd fret. I guess depending how you're counting it, 4 bars. And here comes what I consider the important part. That's why I tuned the string different. Now, if you're playing a fretted instrument, you wouldn't have to do that. You would just hold your fingers like this. But I wanted to get that sound. And we're an octave low though, but that's basically it. And then it goes to the next part. 10th fret and 8th fret. And then back to the lick. Does that a couple times, it does that again. And back to lick. With the drums going all the time, of course. And then there's another part to the song, which of course I didn't get that last lick in the short, and the next part didn't get it. It does a bunch of stops. Then it comes in with this part here. Once again, fret 10. And then 12, 10, 8, 7. Like that. That's when they're doing the stops there. And then it goes into the solo, and the solo is over the 4, which is on the 5th fret. And go to the 7th fret. Back to the 4th on the 5th fret. And that basically covers all the parts you need to play this song, which is a ton of fun. Really helpful if you have a drum machine, though, to get yourself up to tempo. And I'd like to mention something about playing something this quick. I know in a lot of lessons and stuff they say, well, set your metronome at such and such a speed, and then, you know, bring it up a little bit every day. And this is true. This works to a certain extent. But playing really fast is a lot different than playing something faster. Really fast, you have to sort of change your hand and everything. So the best thing to do is to put on the music, and of course with YouTube you can drop it down to like 75% or something like that. But try to get your picking hand, like don't even worry about the notes, just try to get your picking hand. You'll find right away to get up to a really good speed that your hand changes. Like for me, I usually have nails on because I play a lot of gigs where I play a bunch of different instruments like banjo and stuff like that. So I can never find my finger picks, so I use these nails. Plus I used to teach classical, so that had something to do with it. So with me, my nails can kind of rub on almost any instrument smoothly. So whether you're talking about this kind of speed metal or you're talking about pipeline, you want to get your pick to do that. And I have found, and I've watched students struggle with the speeding up the metronome thing. Only works to a certain extent for certain stuff. Like riffs, absolutely, works great. But anything super fast, you sort of got to just start at the top and try to fit the lick in. That's my suggestion anyway. I hope I was helpful. Have a great day. Bye.